that? Oh. Well, this looks like a sticky situation.
Good evening. It's good to be with you guys tonight. How many of you have a hard time saying no to things? Wow, less than I thought. All right. Saying no to things. That's been something I've struggled with as far back as I can remember. I distinctly remember being in college and feeling like I was a slave to yes. I said yes to everything. Will you help with campus cleanup? Yes. Will you study with me at the library for that test? Yes. Will you get coffee with me in the morning? Yes. Will you sit on this committee? Yes. Will you go to church with me? Yes. Will you bring me dinner? Yes. Will you do the dishes? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I felt like I said yes to everything. And I remember one time my cousins who lived in Auburn while I was a student there had asked me to babysit for them in the afternoons, which of course I took because in college that meant money. And so absolutely sign me up. So I was supposed to pick their kids up from school, take them to dance, get them home from dance, and get them doing their homework. So I committed to do this without really thinking about what else I had committed to already in my life. I was an active part of a college ministry where I was a leader. I was taking 15 hours of schoolwork. I had a job. I had an internship. And I also had friendships and a social life, I guess, to attend to. And I remember one day I had gone to class and went straight to a meeting. And it was around 5 or 5:30. And I got a call from my aunt. And she said, did you forget to pick up Alex? I just got a call from the school. And my heart sank because I was supposed to pick up Alex at 3 p.m. It was 5. And I don't even remember getting to Alex, how I got there, but I did. I got there, and she was sitting, this is so sad, it burned in my memory forever, in her little tutu on the curb at school, just weeping because she had been sitting there for 2 hours waiting on me. I had let her down. I had let my aunt down. I had let myself down. I felt like I had finally dropped everything. I had failed at the juggling act. And when I was talking to my roommates about this when I got home, they were like, why did you even say you would do that? And I said, I just couldn't say no. I didn't want to let them down. But in the end, I had let them down. And so this inability to say no has really been a constant theme in my life. So tonight, the sticky situation we're going to try to navigate together is feeling like you have to say yes to everything. I know you've felt like that because you'll text me on Sunday or Wednesday and you'll say, hey, I can't come tonight. I've got soccer practice and I've got a choir concert tomorrow and I've got homework and I need to bake cookies for my friend who broke their leg. It's just always something. You always have stuff going on. I get exhausted just reading your text and knowing your schedules. And I know that most of what you're doing is good stuff. Please don't go home and tell your mom I said choir or soccer. Any of that is bad tonight because that's not what I'm saying. What you're doing is good. Keeps your muscles strong. It keeps your mind challenged. It looks great and will look great when you start applying for colleges and applying for scholarships. But I know if you and I would get really, really real with each other tonight, our overscheduled and our overcommitted life, our yeses are running us ragged. So why are they? Why are our schedules so full? Why do we feel the need to do it all? Why do we have to say yes to everything? As I've thought and prepared for this is sort of what I've come up with. We're overscheduled, overcommitted yes people for a couple of reasons. First, FOMO. Anybody got it? Fear of missing out? Don't lie. Yeah, I know. I see your hands meekly going up. I've got it too. It's a really big deal for me. The fear of missing out. I hate missing out on stuff. The worst is when you run into a friend and they've a bunch of friends and they've all been at the same party or the same event or the same thing and they all have all these inside jokes and all these memories. We don't want to miss out on being an insider. We also don't want anyone else to have things that we don't have, whether that's a relationship with someone or a grade or whatever. We don't want someone to have something we don't have. And so we keep tabs on people to make sure that we are ahead. We believe that our happiness lies at an event or with a person. If we miss it, we won't be happy. We won't be happy. But on the other side of FOMO, on the other side of this fear of missing out, is really just a deep desire to belong. That's what I'm finding. To be an insider, to be a part of community. And those aren't bad things. You were designed for that. I was designed for that. But as a child of God, we don't have to fear of missing out on anything. We're already in. We've been given everything we need in abundance. So we fill up our calendars, we clog our schedules, we run ourselves down, trying to make sure we know and we have everything. It's called control, I'm finding. And I wonder if when we do this, we trade in our trust that God already has everything we need. God already has everything and will provide everything that we need. In Mark 1, we see the beginning of Jesus' earthly ministry, and he's recruiting disciples. It opens, and Jesus is in the process of that, and he recruits Andrew and Simon. And after he recruits them, he goes into their home, and Simon's mother-in-law is running a fever. And so Jesus, being Jesus, he does what? He heals her. Yeah, exactly. So Simon and Andrew get really excited because they've just jumped on board this Jesus train thing. They're following him. They've left everything. And they're going, okay, he is the real deal. Like, we've seen it. He healed her. Now we're going to go tell everybody. So they run out of the house and they run and tell their whole neighborhood and all their friends and all the people, he's for real. He's for real. He's really healing. Bring your sick. They're going to bring everybody. So they tell everybody about it. But when they go back to find Jesus, he's not there. When we pick up in verse 35, the next morning, it says that Jesus had withdrawn to a solitary place to pray. I love that. Jesus withdrew from the crowd, the hustle and the bustle, the noise and the excitement, and healing. It was a great thing. But Jesus knew he needed to step back to withdraw. Just a side note, Jesus withdraws over 45 times, it says in Scripture, to rest and to pray. Enough time to make me realize it's important. The message is clear. When we withdraw, we center ourselves around the one thing we cannot miss. We align our hearts to the Father, where we find an abundance of peace and joy and rest. We're able to rest in his promises and really unplug and recharge. So back to the story, Jesus is healed, and they tell everybody, and people are likely coming for healings and glimpses of Jesus from all over their town. Yet Jesus is withdrawn. So they find him, and they're like, hello, everybody's looking for you. We got lots of people we want you to work with. We want you to heal them. We've told them you're for real. But Jesus says, let's go somewhere else, to the nearby villages, so I can preach there as well. Which is a little bit confusing. And when I read that, I didn't really get where that was going. But I think the more I think about it, it's not so much Jesus saying, enough healing for these people, I'm moving on. But it's more, hey, it'd be a really good thing for me to stay here and heal and work with these people. But there's even more ahead of me on this journey. I'm going to walk away from this opportunity because there are even greater things to come. There are greater things ahead. And I wonder, as I think about my own life and I think about your life and the things that you've shared, how many times we get caught up in what's going on right in front of us. And because they're not bad things, we don't ever really take time to withdraw, to stop and say, am I settling for good, for just okay, when I could have great? Are there things ahead of me that I'm refusing to see and refusing to experience because I'm so caught up in what's happening right in front of me? We got to get over our fear of missing out, our desire to know and experience and have everything. We've got to withdraw, realign our hearts with his, trusting that he has everything that we need. We're already insiders. We're not missing out. I think the other thing I've come to when I think about being overcommitted, yes people, the other struggle is we're having a bit of an identity crisis. I've done a good bit of work both in my own therapy and as a therapist in my work before I started here on self-awareness, of really looking inward to see What are my motives? And that's really painful work, if any of you have ever done that. And one of the things I noticed about myself was my need to be busy, to say yes to everything, simply came down to the fact that I just wanted people to like me. I just wanted people to notice me. I wanted to be known as someone who could juggle lots of things really, really well, who could execute tasks with ease. I didn't want to just meet expectations. I want to exceed them. I wanted to be known as someone who got things done. But that's called perfectionism. And it's all about people-pleasing and performance. I truly believed if I could complete my own to-do list and maybe even help somebody else with theirs, that I was a person of really great value, that I would earn people's respect, that I would earn their favor. But that's just forgetting that I actually don't have to earn anything. You know, Christ doesn't love me because I accomplish all the things. Christ doesn't love me because I say the right things. Christ doesn't love me because I have a high ACT score or I got all the right scholarships. Christ doesn't love me or love you because we go to Young Life or we volunteer with Best Buddies or we come to church every week. Christ loves me and Christ loves you because that's who Christ is. He is love. And there is nothing, and I pray if you hear anything that's said in this room tonight, this would be it. That there is nothing that you and I can do to make God love us any more or any less. When we forget that our identity is built on anything but Christ, perfectionism creeps in. So, band, if you want to come back up. If you find yourself in the midst of a sticky situation where you feel the need to say yes when you really should say no, I hope you'll remember. Ask yourselves these questions. If you say yes, what else will you be saying no to? What has to go with your yes? If you say yes to something, what are you leaving behind? Is your yes going to give you something good when you could have great? You don't have to perform or be anyone other than yourself. I don't have to perform or be anyone other than myself, other than the person that God made me to be. So withdraw. I hope you'll spend time with Jesus in rest and in prayer. And you would hold tight to your yes. Hold on tight to your yes, the things that you give yourself to, that you say yes to, and that you will only give it away when it draws you closer to the heart of the Father. Hold tight to your yes and only give it away when it draws you closer to the heart of the Father. Will you pray with me? Lord, we confess that we are busy, overscheduled, overcommitted people.